voice their opinions. And so I just want to come up with a couple of ground rules. Number one, you got some of these media folks here. Let's prove to them that Wisconsinites can have a civil debate with one another, okay? We are a politically diverse state. We all have strong opinions. We have differing opinions. I expect people aren't going to agree with me on everything. So let's just make sure that we're civil with one another. And if somebody says something you don't agree with, let's not shout the person down. Let's hear what they have to say. So let's show them that Wisconsin is going to have a really good civil debate. Second ground rule. I'm your federal representative. I can't help you with your speeding tickets. I have nothing to do with garbage collection, and I don't work in Madison. So let's just try and stick with federal issues if you could. Now, for those of you who have been to my town hall meetings before, I'd like to go through a PowerPoint. I hope you can see it. I know the light kind of washes that out a little bit. So, for those of you, can you all hear me okay? Okay. So, for those of you who can't see this as well, what I'm trying to do is verbalize this. I want to go through a presentation on just our country's fiscal situation, on our economic situation, and on the budget we passed to try and address this. I want to go through that, and then I just want to open it up, and let's just have a good conversation about federal issues, okay? Sound good? All right. Let's see if this thing works. First of all, let me go through just a handful of observations about what our budget situation is, about what needs to be addressed. Now, this pie chart shows you, and I'll verbalize it, it's a little blurry for me. This pie chart shows you our federal government, basically its budget for last year. And these two, the orange and the green slice of the pie, the two pies that are separated are what we call discretionary spending. That's about 39% of our budget. That is the kind of spending that Congress does control every single year. That's money to government agencies for their budgets. You remember the continuing resolution, the whole government shutdown stuff? That was over these slices of the pie. In fact, that was actually over about 17% of the government, domestic discretionary spending. This category of government has grown a lot lately. 24% in the base budgets of domestic government agencies, 84% increase over the last 2 years when you count the stimulus. But this 41% of the budget is what Congress controls annually. The rest of the budget is on autopilot. It's called mandatory spending or entitlement programs. These programs aren't controlled on an annual basis by Congress. Basically, if you qualify for a benefit, you get it. We have to pay interest on our debt. If you're a farmer and you're growing corn and beans, you get farm program payments. If you're a veteran, you get veterans benefits. If you're 65, you get Medicare and Social Security. These are automatic. And that is the category of government that is growing extremely fast. And that is the category of government that is the biggest driver of our debt in the future. Now, these three programs are the big programs: Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare. As you can see, Social Security right now is the biggest government program, but it doesn't grow dramatically from where it is today in the future. It's the healthcare entitlement programs that are the ones that grow dramatically. Right now, Medicare and Medicaid are quite a bit smaller than Social Security, but they grow to enormous amounts to the point where just these three programs plus the interest on the debt consume every penny of federal revenue by the year 2025. Now, there's a whole bunch of reasons why these programs have grown so fast. Number one, when Medicare and Medicaid were created, men lived in their 60s and women lived into their 70s. Now, men are living in their 70s and women live to their 70s, to their 80s, and their 90s. And so, the program lasts longer, people live longer than was ever anticipated when they were created. When these programs were created, baby boomers were babies or teenagers. Now they're retirees. And these are what you call pay-as-you-go programs. Current workers pay their current taxes to finance the benefits for current recipients, current beneficiaries. And if your demographics are stable, no problem. But that's not the case. We're going from 40 million retirees to 77 million retirees, meaning we have a 100% increase in the beneficiary population, but only a 17% increase in the taxpayer population to pay for these programs. That, too, is giving us a lot of financial pressure. The third big